All right, Tino Cochino Radio with the one, the only, Kiana Ledé.
Wow. Which camera are we looking at?
Let's stick to the middle one. You know, just right there. But if you want to look at that one and smile sometimes, I'll take those two.
Okay. So.
All right, so first things first, this is our first time with this little setup. Our video guy, Doug, I don't know, felt kind of Oprah-ish and gave us a little set today.
Ooh.
We've never used this plant before, so I want you to name it. What do you feel when you see this plant? Be honest.
I'm feeling a Fredrick.
Fredrick.
Yeah, he looks a little fancy.
Okay.
You know?
What filter would Fredrick use on Instagram?
Oh, he's all natural.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. He's just the normal.
All right.
Yeah.
Lil Fred.
Lil Fredrick.
There he is. Cool. So how's life? Before work or anything, just you in general, life, how is it?
Everything's good, man. I've been making a lot of changes in my life and I'm feeling really good about them.
What's the latest one?
Honestly, just focusing on myself.
No, there's a laughter. There's something. Come on.
Laughed.
Come on. I heard it too. I didn't want to call her out. I heard it. Come on. There's something to it.
I'm just focusing on myself. I've made a promise to myself not to be in a relationship until like at least next year. So it means a lot of self acceptance and love.
How long have you been out of your last relationship?
It's been somebody's having a party outside.
Don't switch the subject.
I've been single.
She's trying to run.
I've been out of my relationship for like a month and a half now. Maybe?
Oh, so this is new.
This is new.
How long were you together?
2 years.
Okay. Yeah, I went through a breakup recently too. 5 years. Yeah. So it's tough to get out of, right? I mean, it's a lifestyle that you're living and
it's
things
hard.
are a certain way, and then I'm sure traveling and stuff, that doesn't make it any easier.
I mean, traveling actually makes it better, I think, because I am not in the same surroundings that I was when I was in my relationship. I'm like totally removed from it, so it's giving me like a clear pathway to kind of focus on myself, and it's nice.
Do you think it's weird that it like happened around the time that everything's really like blowing up for you? Like, is it kind of like low-key a sign like, hey, focus on you and do you?
It's definitely a sign. I mean, like, can I cuss?
Sure.
Okay, sweet. Shit was just happening. Like there was way too much shit happening.
Fredrick.
Fredrick,
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
sorry, Fredrick. There was way too much bad shit happening to me towards the end of last year, and I think it was just the universe or God or whatever the fuck you want to call it saying, Kiana, you need to get out of this situation. And not because it was bad, it was just I was growing and I needed to focus on that growth and not on the relationship and holding myself back from growing or holding the other person in that relationship back from growing.
The crazy thing is like when you're in a relationship, or I feel like most people in general, you're so comfortable or just like complacent, and then you think of all the good things and it kind of takes you away from what you're really feeling. Like, you know, you need to get out of it, but you're like, but this is good, or then nice. I gotta meet someone else and it's gonna be a struggle because of this, and no, you kind of talk yourself out of it. So that's cool that you could like listen to that voice and actually do it. I think this is the best breakup I've ever had in a weird way, because I did it because I respected myself, and I did it because I owed it to myself to give that time to like really get to know myself and love myself, and it was something that I knew I had needed to do for a long time. It was just the first time where I chose myself over another person rather than like being upset about something and breaking up because of something that upset me. Right. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I mean, just talking about you, I don't know the background info like that. So give me like the rundown, how you kind of got into everything.
It's a long story.
Run it.
Okay. You got time?
Plenty.
Okay. I grew up here in Phoenix. I wasn't very good at school because I was just focusing on music and like musical theater and performing.
You knew super early, like that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I had known. I mean, my mother really knew. Like my mom knew when I was 2, 3 that like that's what I was gonna do.
Were you like singing around the house at like a young age or what?
Yeah, I literally. My mom taught me the ABCs when I was like 16 months old, and I turned the ABCs into like a whole nother song, and that's when she was like, wait, what?
Do you still know it? Like, how did you sing it?
No, I have no idea. This is stories from my mother.
Oh wow. You imagine it's all a lie.
Yeah.
She just told you all this so you could try and chase it.
Right. No, yeah, it was just a passion that I had, and my mom always told me like, don't rely on anybody else, focus on yourself, and allow this passion to like drive you in your life, and let that be what your work is, because like you really only have one life, so we know, and or so we think, right? And you might as well make it a good one. We spend like ages 18 to fucking, I don't know, when do people typically retire? Like 60?
60-ish?
Yeah, like probably 60 retire. Something. That's like that's more than half of your life that you're like spending in a job. So you might as well do something you love.
Yeah, man. I had this conversation. Like, I got in radio really young. So I knew I wanted to do it when I was 13, and I was hired full time at 16, and I've done it ever since. And so like some people, like I have friends that legit complain every day about their job, but they won't do it. It's the same thing as the relationship. They won't do anything to get out of that situation because it's just like, oh, well,
it takes courage.
I can't do it.
It really does take a lot of courage. And unfortunately, it takes courage because, you know, everybody can't do what they love because we need people to do two jobs that we don't want to do. I need someone
to make my pasta.
Yeah.
That sounds so jerkish, though.
No, but
I don't mean it in a jerky way.
But the thing is there are people who love to make pasta and they're not making pasta.
Very true.
They're sitting at a desk. So it takes courage to be able to make that pasta.
It's so funny you say that. I was watching, it was some clip. I don't know what movie it is. Some movie with George Clooney, but I saw a clip yesterday and he's, I guess, interviewing a guy or talking to him. And it's some basic interview. And he's like, look, but what do you want to do for a living? And he's like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, look, I saw your resume. It says you went to culinary school and you like to cook. And then he kind of opens up a little bit. And he's like, why aren't you doing that? And he's like, well, it doesn't pay the bills. He's like, but you can find a way to make it pay the bills. So that's very true. Like some people, everyone has their passion, but it's just about actually
how much drive. Yeah. Yep. So my mom was really good at implementing that in my life. She made sure like career and passion was first and then school was second. And then like friends and family was like third. She was like, we're good. Like you don't have to keep telling us how much you love us. Like you love us, we get it, but like we want you to focus.
That's dope.
So she just told me to believe in that more than anything, believe in myself more than anything. And I got signed super young when I was like 15, and then by the time I was 16 I had moved out to LA by myself, and then just started. I was working at I was in a 360 deal, no advance. I started working at a gymnastics center. I worked at CVS right before that to save up to move to LA.
Oh wow. So
I was working at a gymnastics center and doing like 2 sessions a day, and then also doing like demo singing to try and afford my rent in LA. It was a lot. And then I ended up.
Where were you staying when you first moved to LA?
North Hollywood.
I feel like that's where everyone goes.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because it's like a nice enough area for young people to live where it doesn't feel like unsafe, but it's also cheaper rent than anything else. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of young people around, so you're like always going out and meeting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got dropped when I was 17, and then I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, I'm starting from square one now. What do I do? I'm in LA by myself. Then started doing covers, and those covers went on for a year, and then we did Hotline Bling, and then Hotline Bling blew up, and then I got a TV show, and then all of the labels started calling because stuff started picking up, and I chose Republic because Republic was the only label that I saw that was like really allowing their artists to be artists while taking them to like a mainstream platform.
I always wonder that when an artist signs to a label, especially like when they have different people that want them, it's like, what is it? Just a gut feeling that you go with, or is it specific things that they approach you with that you're like, okay, this is it?
I mean, sometimes it is. I feel like the worry about deals, like if you're just looking at the deal, if you're going to different labels and seeing what deal they're going to offer you, that doesn't necessarily mean that they believe in you. If they're going to give you $1 million deal, it's probably because you have a hit song, you know, like they're probably doing it for the hit song, not necessarily because they believe in you.
They believe in that song, right? The moment.
Exactly. They believe in the moment. And Republic was the place where I was like, they believe in me. Like they're here to support me and my journey. And they saw the vision because I wasn't really doing anything. Like how many people in LA have a TV show?
Right.
Or like a viral video? There's so many people. So the fact that they were like so willing to be like, we're down for this ride. And they had done it with so many of their other artists. And I watched that growth and watched that process and saw how much they believed in those other artists. So I was really excited about that.
That's awesome. So like right now musically, like what are you super excited about? I mean, you got the tour going on, you got everything just is nuts. But what is it right now that you're most excited about?
We're finishing the album. It's like pretty much finished.
How do you know when it's done? I feel like even once you put it out, you're gonna be like, damn, we should have done this.
I feel like when I start making songs that are trash compared to the ones I already made, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm done. Okay.
You're like, I'm trying too hard now.
Yeah, like they're okay, but like the other ones are so much better.
Putting an album together, that's got to be like the dopest thing, because I mean, isn't it weird too? Like you go through the breakup, but I mean that's gonna be great album material.
Yeah,
some of your best songs will probably be about the breakup.
Oh, yeah, they are. I mean, some of the best songs are about the breakup, but they're also like this next upcoming album is going to be a lot more about where I am at in my life, like being able to focus on myself and love myself, and going through a breakup and feeling myself again.
Right.
And trying to figure out also what that means. You know, of course it's a breakup, so there are some sad things going on, but I really didn't want this album to just be about a breakup, because I could do that all day long. But there are people who really need to hear in this moment right now, like the come up from that.
Do you have like celebrities in your DM like shooting their shot, like super corny? You don't have to, I'm not gonna ask you to put them on blast, but I'm just curious. She laughed again. I need you around all the time.
Jasmine always gives away with her face.
Could you tell me one of the lines? You don't have to tell me who it is, but like what's just like a weird way that came at you?
Typically it's like an emoji.
Oh really? Eggplant?
No.
Just
not the eggplant. It's typically like a hard eyes emoji, or like a heart.
Okay.
Or like a
Do you
star.
entertain it, or do you just leave them?
It depends. It depends.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Just interesting. It's interesting, man. It's Hollywood life. What should we touch on that we haven't? I mean, anything specific that we need the listeners and viewers to know? Tour's going on. Album's almost done. Working on personal life.
I think you got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kiana Ledé. It's Lil Fredrick.
Lil Fredrick. Feet Fredrick.
It's Tino Cochino Radio. Thank you for the time.
Thank you.